All right, welcome back, my Woodlands Yoga Studio friends. So for this chair yoga class today, we're going to need a strap. So I realize not everyone may have a strap like this with the little double loops like we have at the studio. So if you don't have one of these, a couple of the other options are a scarf. So we can always use a scarf. Plenty of good real estate here. And then also maybe an old tie. Now I realize we don't really want to put our feet on ties that we're going to use, but so like my husband has this one that's broken. So if I wanted to use this one, no big deal. We just want something that we can create a little pressure with. So if you don't have the belt, maybe a tie, a scarf, anything else similar to this will work just fine. No worries, not a big deal. Let's see, we have about 1 more minute and then we'll go ahead and get started. So if you still need to grab that strap, go ahead and grab it and I'll meet you back here in about 30 seconds to a minute. All right, well I hope everyone is having a good week so far and getting lots of things done. I know I've started doing other workouts at home and I have my gardening going on and I've been reading more books. So I've been keeping myself busy as much as possible. I hope you have too. All right, other than that, I hope you're sitting up nice and tall. Let your sit bones be grounded in the chair. Let your back rest to the back of the chair. Sit up nice and tall, stacking your shoulders over your hips. Relax your hands palm up or palm down on the tops of your thighs. And close your eyes or soften your gaze. And just begin to settle in. Life's been a little hectic outside of the house, maybe in the house. And this is just the perfect time to rest and allow the next 60 minutes to be all for you. No worries of what's going on in the world or what needs to be done today. It's just all about the breath, movement, and you. On your next inhale, begin to take a little observation of how you're breathing today. Maybe of how your body is feeling. Maybe checking in with your emotions. Let's begin to bring a little mindfulness to the breath. Nice deep inhales and exhales. And on the exhale, we can either release it out of the mouth or continue breathing out of the nose. So if we breathe out of the mouth, it's more like and out of the nose. Just listen to your body and find out what it needs. Maybe you'd like to do a little combination. Maybe a few of one and then the other. For the next couple of breaths, set an intention for your practice today. Maybe you'd like to be mindful throughout our practice. Maybe you'd like to stay positive throughout the day. Maybe you'd like to send some good vibes or prayers to some others in need. And then just allow your breath to return back to neutral. And then on an inhale, we'll softly open our eyes. And welcome back. We're going to begin today at the feet, starting from the bottom up. So we're just going to extend a leg out and squeeze and open wide our toes. So we'll squeeze, curling all of the toes in, and then release, spreading all the toes as wide as possible. Just look back and forth on one leg, no matter if it's the left or right. Maybe wiggle them around a little bit, open and close. Good, and then we'll release one, and pick up the other, squeeze, and open. Ooh, my left definitely doesn't spread the toes like the right does. Maybe yours is like mine, or maybe you have some nice little monkey toes. So just opening and closing, warming up the feet and the toes. Good, and then open and close a little faster. And then we'll release it down. Good, sitting up nice and tall. We'll inhale, big stretch, reach those fingertips long. And then on an exhale, we'll grab a hold of that right knee, hug it in towards the chest. Oh, good. And then release. Inhale long. And then exhale, grab a hold of the knee, hug it in towards the chest. Oh, man. Good. And release. Continue on, moving with your own breath. Lingering in any areas that need a little extra attention or time in that space. Just alternating back and forth, doing a nice big stretch. And then hugging the knee in. And releasing. Good, let's do 2 more to each side. After laying in bed and sitting, doing all my exercise this week with weights. Oh, it is really nice to just hug my knees in. Plugging the femur back into the hip socket. Oh, getting a little stretch down the back of that hamstring. Good. And then we'll gently release. Left hand will reach down to the side. Right hand's going to come up, reach up towards the ceiling first, elongating the spine. And then exhale, release those right fingertips over towards the left side, grounding down the right sit bone and keeping the feet pressing firmly into the floor. Getting a nice little stretch down the right side body. And then exhale, release right hand down. Inhale, left hand comes up and over, reaching towards the right side. Then we always have the option to take our stretch a little bit deeper here by taking our gaze underneath the tricep. And then exhale, release. Alternating from side to side, grounding down the opposite sit bone. Keeping our feet pressing firmly into the floor. Taking the option to look underneath the tricep if that's what your body is looking for today. Getting a nice stretch down each side of the body. And then gently releasing, going to the opposite side. Just a little bit longer here. One more on each side. And then exhale, release everything down. Good. So I want you to move your sit bones towards the front of the chair, but I still want your bottom grounded firmly. We're going to keep one foot bent, and we're going to extend the opposite foot long. So if it feels like the back of your hamstring is pressing into the chair, still scoot a little bit forward. So we have one leg completely extended and the opposite one bent. We can keep our hands here at the hips, or for a little extra support, we can bring them to the top of the thigh. And we're going to keep long throughout the spine and hinge forward. So we're finding a little stretch down the back of the hamstring because we're working into our hamstrings and hips a bit today. And so we can, remember, keep our hands here or at the hips. If we keep them at the hips, we're using a little bit more of a core activation to stay long through the spine. Toes are engaged for the extended leg. And then breathe into the stretch. Right, I'm actively pressing my right heel into the floor or my extended leg. So I'm keeping active. My quad is engaged. My hamstrings are getting a stretch, and I'm long in the spine. Good, and then on an inhale, we'll rise. Extended leg steps back in, and we'll extend the opposite leg out. Remember, hands on the hips or the tops of the thigh. And then on an exhale, we'll hinge forward. Left toes are engaged, pulling back towards the kneecap. Quad is engaged here. Heel is actively pressing into the floor, and I'm getting a good stretch through my left hamstring. Long through the spine. Think about keeping your chin in line with the spine, so you have a nice long line from tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. Good, and then let's switch over to the opposite side one more time. Good, so on your exhale, we're hinging forward, toes are engaged. Nice stretch through the right hamstring. Remember to breathe. Good, and then last time on the opposite side. So right foot steps in, left foot extends out, toes are engaged. Almost as if you're trying to press through the gaps, but we're also pressing the heel into the floor. Quad engaged. Core is engaged if we're keeping the hands on the hips. Otherwise, we're pressing firmly into the top of the opposite thigh. Good. One more breath here. And then we'll inhale back up to seated. And we can come back to our chair. Good, sitting up nice and tall, hands can come to the fronts of the knees. And we're just gonna move through a little cat and cow. So traditionally, our cat-cow, we draw our chest through our collarbones, lift our gaze, arch our spine, tailbone flips out. And then for our cat pose, tailbone flips underneath, we arch the spine, chin comes towards the chest. So we can stay in this single plane here, or if you'd like to mix it up a little bit with some barrel rolls, tail wagging, or maybe even some torso circles, feel free to listen to your spine, listen to your body. What is it asking for? Maybe it wants a little more shoulder action. Maybe you just want to stay right here in your cat and cow. Nice and easy. Oh, linger in any areas that feel good. For me, the cat stretch always feels so nice. Good. Just a few more breaths, wiggling that spine around any way that feels good. Barrel rolls, tail wagging, traditional cat-cow. Maybe a combination, just like me, of everything. You're just like, where is that sticky spot that needs attention? Oh, maybe there. Or there. Good, 2 more breaths. Good, and then after that, last cat, cow, or wiggle there, we'll come back to neutral. Good, so sitting up nice and tall, sit bones grounded in the chair, shoulders stacked over the hips. I want you to take your hands to the chair, or you can keep them on your hips or lap. But we're gonna hug one knee in towards the chest, so no hands. So I don't want us to lift, even if it's just 1 inch off the ground, that's completely okay. We're working into those hip flexors, so when we pick them up here, you'll probably feel a little bit of engagement here. If you don't though, that's okay. Maybe you have some other muscles that are nice and strong and on board. So either way, our hands are on the chair legs, on the hips, or resting on the tops of the thighs without any activity. And we're gonna lift the right heel up away from the floor, and we're going to extend the back leg out, and then release it down. Inhale, hug the left knee in. Exhale, hug the left heel out, and then release to the floor. All right, so it's kind of like a march with a press throughout the heel. You might feel your quads engage. You might feel those hip flexors coming on board. Just marching side to side, moving with your own breath, moving as slow as you'd like to go. Good, just warming up those muscles, getting some activation on in here. Let's just do a few more. Alternating side to side, staying up nice and tall. Make sure we're not hinging forward or leaning too far back. Just staying tall. Core is engaged as we pick up our foot. And we're pressing firmly throughout the heel as we engage our toes, pulling them back towards the kneecap. Good. Let's do 2 more on each side. 1. And on the second one, let's linger here. 3, 2, 1. And release the right. Inhale the left. Exhale, press out through the heel. 3, 2, 1. And release. Good. So now if you have that strap, let's take a hold of it. And we're going to take the strap to the ball of the foot. So one thing I like to do, I like to take a nice big loop, get it around the ball of the foot. This way, if leaning over or getting a hold of that foot is a little bit of a challenge today, no worries, our strap is nice and helpful. Left ankle is going to stay underneath the left knee for just a little bit of support. And then we're going to press out through the left ball of the foot. We have our strap here, and we want our arms to come down by our sides. So toes are engaged, pulling back towards the kneecap. You might feel a little stretch on the back of the hamstring, maybe into the calf, depending on where you're tight. We're sitting up nice and tall, so we have the tendency to let our shoulders come forward when we're pulling here. But give yourself enough slack so that arms come down by the sides and we can stay up nice and tall. And then from here, we're pressing out through the ball of the foot, getting that little stretch in the back of the hamstring. And then we're just going to let the leg come out and in. If you'd like to change to one hand, you can use the same side. Just getting a little rotation here in the hip a little bit. Moving nice and slow. No worries. And if anything is creating any issues, any pain, discomfort outside of a good stretch, we want to back off. So if coming out to the side is bothering your hip, feel free to just stay right here, keeping those toes active, pulling back towards the kneecap and finding that stretch in the back of the calf and hamstring. Good. If we're moving the leg around, let's just do 3 more here. 1, 2, and 3. Good. And then we'll gently release the right foot down, keeping the strap on. So we're just going to step the left foot in and release the right. Good. Bring it back to 2 hands if you were using just one. Wiggle that strap around until it gets to the ball of the foot. And then press out through the left foot. Good. So toes are engaged. Arms are resting down by the side so we're not hunching forward. Long throughout the leg. Sitting up nice and tall. We'll just pause here for a second. Right ankle is underneath the right knee. And then we can keep both hands onto the strap, or we can change them both over to the left. We'll do a little out and in with the left leg. So a little abduction and abduction, the hip. Be sure to stay grounded through that right foot, staying tall through the spine. Left toes are engaged, you're pressing out through the left ball of the foot. And remember, if this causes any discomfort into the hip, we're just staying still here, getting our stretch down the back of the hamstring and calf. Good, let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good, and then we'll bring the left heel, left foot back down to the mat. Release the strap, and then we'll set that aside for now. Good, so coming back to nice and tall spine, sit bones grounded. We're going to do my fun and traditional heel toe out. So we'll just wiggle the feet and slowly walk them so our feet are nice and wide. Toes are pointing out towards the sides of the mat. On an inhale, we're going to inhale, reach the fingertips up. And then nice, slow and controlled with the long spine, we're going to exhale and hinge forward. This might not be far, and that's okay. This is about as far as I'm going to go. And then inhale back up. You might feel a little movement here in your hips. Core is engaged. Arms are long, so we're hugging those shoulder blades down and back. And staying long throughout the spine. Press through the balls of the feet and the toes as we hinge forward. Moving with your own breath. So we're changing the direction and movement in our hips here. Just a few more here. Exhaling, hinge forward. Inhale, nice and long. Good. Are you reaching with your hands? Is your core engaged? Are you pressing firmly through your feet? Good. On your next exhale, we'll reach the fingertips long and pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, rise, and exhale, release the hands down. Good. Take a couple shoulder rolls if that feels good to you. And then we'll heel toe the feet back to in front of the hips. Ankles underneath the knees. Now we're going to bring our hands to the tops of the thighs. So we're going to move our adductors to without a strap and knees bent. But as we move the leg, we want to keep it hovered. So it'll look something like this. I'm actively pressing my hands into the tops of my thighs, and I'm going to lift my right foot away from the floor. And I'm pressing down with my hands, so I have some resistance. And I'm going to bring the knee out to the side and back in. And release back to the floor. And then we'll move to the opposite side. So, lift the heel, abductor, abductor, and release. Good. So our abductor is when it's moving away, and our adductor is when it's coming together. Okay? So we'll lift, out, and in. Good. Inhale, lift the left, out, and in. You might feel this in your hips. Core is engaged. We're staying long throughout the spine. A little activation through the hands and shoulders. Good. And then back to the opposite side. Moving at your own pace, of course. And inhale the right. Exhale out. Inhale in. Good. Left foot lifts, out, in, and down. Good. Let's do 2 more to each side. So inhale the right up, out, and in. Good. Left up, out, more time. Right up, out, and in. Remember to keep activation with those hands. Left up, out, and in. Good. And then release. Whew. My abs are definitely on board. My hip flexors are feeling good. All right, so let's move it on to our stand with no hands. All right, and that is exactly what it sounds like. So we're gonna start our feet about hip distance apart. We're gonna extend our hands long in front, palms facing each other. And then as we hinge forward, we're gonna press through the feet and rise. So if maybe a couple of inches is all that you'd like to get today, that's completely fine. Or if you'd like to stand all the way up, also great. So yogi's choice. What does your body need today? And what are you looking for in your yoga practice today? Okay, so let's do 5. All right, so hands are extended out in front, palms facing each other. We're pressing firmly through the toes. We'll hinge forward, feel the weight in our feet, press up, a couple inches, or all the way up. Okay, 1, 2, good, 3, and 4. Good. This last one, I want you to come to a little bit of a hover before pressing all the way up, or just hold right where you were. So we're hinging forward, press to the feet, and hover. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Either sit or stand all the way up. Good. And then slow lower back to the chair. Release the hands. Whew. All right, we're going to come to standing now, so make sure that your mat and your space is clear. I'm going to turn my chair, but you feel free to stay right where you're at. So today for hips and hamstrings, we're going to get some hip rotations. So I want us to bring our hands to the back of the chair. And you notice I stepped back a little bit. I'm hinged at the hips. And I'm going to lift my right knee, and then I'm just going to make some big circles in one direction. So we're trying to find that full range of motion here with the hip. I'm staying firm throughout the left foot. Trying not to let the rest of the body go on board with my movement. I'm just drawing some nice big circles with my right knee. Good, and we'll do a couple more in this direction. And then we'll reverse. So opposite direction. Maybe it's your funky direction. It feels a little weird, and that's okay. You might feel your hamstrings fire up here, your glutes fire, maybe even the down leg. Good, and then on your next circle here, we'll pause and release the right foot down. Woo, shake that out. My down leg is on fire. All right, let's move to the opposite side. So right foot is nice and sturdy. We'll lift our left heel and make some circles in one direction. Nice big circles. Might feel some pops in there. I know I do. No worries. Good, just a couple more in this direction. And then we'll reverse. Woo, getting tired. All right, last one here, and we'll pause and release the left foot back down to the mat. Good. Feel free to shake it out. Walk it out a little bit. Moving those hips around like that is a little exhausting. But no worries, moving on here. We're going to keep our hands to the back of the chair, coming into a little standing sequence here. Hands stay right back here. We're going to step the right foot back, nice and long, pressing the ball of the foot into the mat, keeping the heel lifted. So we're coming into a little high lunge. Good. And then we'll press off those right toes, coming back to the back of the chair. Left foot steps back, high lunge on the opposite side. Feel free to take your time and move at your own pace. The sequence is short. So it's a high lunge on the right, high lunge on the left. Step back to the back of the chair. Feet come wide, feet turn out. And we'll send the booty back, bend into the knees, making sure not to track over the toes. Long throughout the spine for our goddess squat. Press back up and walk in. All right, so that's our sequence. Step back with the right on an exhale. Nice big lunge, long throughout the spine. Chair's here for support. If you just want it there just as a just in case, no worries. We can inhale those hands up. Nice and long. And then exhale, release the hands down. Step that right foot in. Inhale here, then exhale, step the left foot back. High lunge on the opposite side, hands on the chair, or reaching for the ceiling, long throughout the spine. Then exhaling, releasing the hands down, stepping the left foot in, feet come wide. Exhale, again, coming down to our goddess squat. Pressing through the feet, walk the feet in. Exhale again, step back the right, high lunge, hands down, or hands up. Long throughout the spine, pressing firmly in the back foot. Release the hands back down, press up from the back foot. Exhale, step back to the left. Good. Hands down or up. Then release. Step up, step out, and goddess squat. Good. One more time at your own pace, or feel free to follow along with me. Good, and then we'll all meet back at the back of our chair. Good. From here, I want you to come around to the front of your chair. And we're going to bring our hands to the seat. Step the feet back and find yourself a nice, juicy forward fold. So in our forward fold, we want a nice bend into the knees. Bend into the elbows. Let the crown of the head come towards the seat. Release the head, neck, and shoulders. Let the torso rest out over the tops of the thighs as much as possible. Keeping some weight into the hands here. Just keeping a little support. Maybe shake your head yes or no. Maybe wiggle side to side. And then inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice. And long throughout the legs, crown of the head reaches for the front of the room. And then exhale, fold. Good. Two more. Inhale, half lift. Long spine, pressing through the feet, long legs. And then exhale, back into your forward fold. Good. Inhale, last one here. Long spine. And then gently release. Good. So we're going to stay here, halfway lifted, but we're not really drawing the crown of the head towards the front of the room. But we are keeping weight into the hands. The left foot's going to step in just a little bit. And we're going to be moving the right knee and right hip. So we're going to hug the right knee in, just like we did when we were sitting, but now we're standing, and press out through the heel. Good. And it doesn't need to be that tall. It can be right here. Good. We just want to feel that glute engaged, the hamstring engaged, keeping our core tight. Finding some movement here, staying long throughout the spine. Good, let's do 3 more on this side. 3. Remember to move with your breath. 2. And 1. Good, then we'll release that right foot back down to the floor, stepping it in just a little bit towards midline. And then inhale the left knee up. And then we'll press out through the left heel. Good, and remember it can be right here. It can just be a small movement. It doesn't have to be as big as mine. Remember, yoga is all about you and your body, your breath, your practice. You take what you want and you leave the rest. Good. Remember to breathe. Are you long through the spine? Are you pressing firmly through the right foot into the mat? Good, and we'll do 3 more. 3. 2. And 1. Good. Then we'll release the foot down to the mat. We'll walk our hands up to the top of the chair. And we'll come back around to the back of the chair. I'm turning mine around, but you feel free to move, manipulate your body or your chair, however you'd like. All right, so we're going to come into a little bit of a chair pose here. So we can keep the hands here at the hips, or if you want to go for the full thing, we can keep the hands elongated, reaching the fingertips up towards the ceiling, palms facing each other. I'm going to keep my hands on the back of the chair for instructional purposes today. So we want our feet about hip distance apart, toes facing towards the front. So we want the inside of the feet parallel to each other. And we're going to send the booty back. So we'll send the booty back, keeping the knees as best as possible over the tops of the ankles. Good, long through the spine. It's okay to be hinging forward. We are using our chair here. If we're keeping the hands up, we'll keep them reaching, okay? Good, so let's do 4 more together. Sitting back into our chair pose. Okay, so on our lower, we're gonna count to 4, and on our rise up, we're gonna count to 4. So nice and slow, controlled. Belly is engaged, pressing through the feet, sending the booty back, staying long through the spine. All right, let's count. 4, 3, 2, and 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, so nice and slow. 3 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. We're going to hold it when we get to the bottom. 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Press through the feet. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. We made it all the way here. Take a nice big breath in and out. Good. One more time. Good. All right. Coming into our balance pose for today, we're going to be bringing our knee in towards our chest. So if you'd like to use a wall today, we can bring our back to the wall. We can keep one hand on the wall, or we can come to the side, bring our side to the back of the chair. So, or we can use no hands, yogi's choice, as always. So, I'll hold on to the chair just for instructional purposes. Right, we're gonna lift the right knee up. So, lifting the right knee up can be a hover, maybe midway. Maybe we're going all the way up, yogi's choice. Either way, we want to press firmly through the left foot, staying long through the spine, core is engaged, crown to head reaching for the ceiling, and then we're going to release the right hand up, nice and long, palm facing towards the midline. Good, and from here, we can hold on to our chair, our wall, or our back is on the wall, long spine. Good, hold it here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it all the way down. All right, coming to the opposite side. I'm going to turn my chair, but if you're using the wall, no worries, just turn in the opposite direction. All right, so right foot is down, right hand is on the chair, if we're using the chair, or on the wall. Good, well, inhale, lift the left knee up, toes are engaged. Remember, we can hover, midway, or all the way up. We're not really looking to go any higher than this today, so if you're a super overachiever, come on back down, no worries. All right, left hand reaches up, right hand is there for balance, or meeting the left. Good, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, release it all back down. And everything's always better on the second try. So let's do that one more time on each side. So coming back to standing on the left foot, right foot is lifted. 1, 2, or 3. Right hand is reaching up towards the ceiling. Left hand is on the chair, wall, or also reaching up. Nice and long through the spine, core is engaged. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release it all down. Last time on the opposite side here. All right, right foot is down, right hand is holding onto the chair or wall, left foot is up, left knee is lifted. 1, 2, or 3. Long spine. Core is engaged. Toes are engaged, pulling back towards the kneecap. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release it all down. Great job, everybody. Today, we're going to come right back to sitting in our chair. Good, sitting up nice and tall here. We're going to help the right ankle lift and rest on top of the left thigh. If this is not available to you today and you have some blocks or books or anything else handy, you can always relax, pressing the outside blade of the foot into the top of the block. All right, other than that, our ankle is on the top of the thigh, and we're using the ankle to press into the top of the thigh, which is going to help the right knee flare out. We can stay sitting up nice and tall in our chair, and we can stay right here, or we can use the right hand to press into the center of the right thigh. And to also make it more intense, we can hinge forward. Woo! I definitely feel the hips there. All right, so staying long through the spine, whether we're hinging or tall in our chair. Right hand is pressing gently through the center of the right thigh or the lifted leg. And then breathe. Just letting all that hard work settle back down, settling our heart rate. Let's just give it 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then on the next inhale, we'll rise back up, release the hand, and release the right foot back down to the floor mat. Good. All right, let's help the opposite leg up. So the left ankle over the top of the left thigh, toes are engaged. Left hand comes to the center of the left thigh, long throughout the spine, whether we're staying tall or hinging forward. And wherever you are, settle in. Make sure that down ankle is underneath the right knee. And we're breathing. Feel free to sigh it out if that's good for you, if it feels good to you in your body, or just stick with your natural breath. Good. Remember to breathe. Stay long through the spine. Enjoying my little figure 4 stretch here. One of my favorites. Just a few more breaths. And then on our next inhale, we'll gently rise, help that left ankle down, and release the left foot back down to the mat. All right, sitting up nice and tall, we're gonna move into a little gentle twist. So we wanna move only from the bottom rib. So if you feel here, maybe just wiggle side to side a little bit. You notice your hips aren't really moving. It's just this upper body. So that's what we wanna harness here. And so even if we're just coming towards the side just a little bit in our twist before our hips go on board, that's okay. Okay, so long throughout the spine, we're gonna twist from that bottom rib towards the right. Left hand is gonna come to the outside of the top of the right thigh. And then the right hand can stay on the hip, or we can hold on to the chair. And remember, we wanna keep the hips still, low body staying right there in the chair. Upper body turning towards the right. Gaze can go over to the right, or we can intensify the stretch a little bit by looking over the right shoulder. If this creates any discomfort or tension in the neck, feel free to just come back to looking over to the right. And then here, we just want to breathe. We're not pressing our twist too deeply. We haven't done a whole lot for this today. Just be nice and easy on the body. Just nice and easy breath. Settling into our gentle twist. And then on your next exhale, we'll gently release, coming back to neutral. Good, staying long through the spine. Moving only from that bottom rib, we'll twist over to the left. Right hand comes to the outside of the left thigh. Left hand comes to the back of the chair, or stays on the hip. Gaze is over to the left or over that left shoulder. We're still staying long in the spine, finding nice deep inhales and exhales. Remember to stay mindful in our practice, staying right here with me, your breath and your body, letting everything melt away. Two more breaths here. And then on your next exhale, we'll gently release back to neutral. Good. And then feel free to roll anything out, move any other way. We're just winding down. Oh, maybe a big stretch here, open and wide. And then close it down. Good. And then on your next inhale, we'll inhale, reach the fingertips long, let the toes go long. Big, long, full body stretch. Maybe even hook your thumbs. And then we'll release everything down. Good. Remember, we always have the option, setting up for Savasana here, to stay right here in our chair. We can come to lying down on our floor mat, letting the backs of our calves rest on the tops of the chair. Or we can lay out fully in Savasana, setting the chair aside. Or last option, that at least comes to mind right now, we can let our legs come up the wall. So heels towards the ceiling, ankles stacked over the hips. No worries. So wherever you'd like to set up for your Savasana, feel free to do that now. Otherwise, we'll stay right here, palms resting palm up or palm down on the tops of the thighs. Letting your back rest into the chair. Feet relaxing gently onto the floor, ankles underneath the knees. Arms resting down by our sides, nice and relaxed. Shoulders resting away from the ears. And then from here, we'll just begin settling in. Releasing any tension from the feet and toes. Relaxing our calves and hamstrings. Letting our hips settle and be heavy. Relaxing the stomach and chest. Letting the shoulders rest away from the ears. And the arms down by our sides. Relaxing any tension in the neck and throat. Relaxing all the tiny muscles of the face and head. Letting the brow part away from each other. The jaw to gently open. Letting the tongue to rest in the mouth. If any thoughts arise, simply acknowledge them for what they are and let them settle or float away. Bringing your attention and awareness back to the breath. And enjoy your Savasana. on your next inhale, gently bring a little life back to the fingers and toes. Maybe swirl the wrists and ankles. Maybe turn your head from side to side. And then if it feels good to you, we can take one more big stretch. Reaching the fingertips overhead, pointing the toes. And then releasing everything down. And thank you for joining me today. It is always a pleasure, whether through technology or in person, to have this connection with you. Bring your hands to heart center. I hope you all have a wonderful, happy, and healthy rest of your day and week. And I hope to see you all again very soon. Namaste.